All right, greetings everyone, and listen. Make sure that you guys subscribe to my channel. Make sure that y'all like this video. Make sure that y'all share this video, right? Make sure that you get a copy of my book, Wealth Creation by Henry Jones on Amazon.com. Make sure that you guys, hit that PayPal link in the above and show brother some love for the content he's putting out. Because if y'all can support the fakes, the charlatans, and the hoodwinkers, then you support a brother who's trying to really bring you some earnest information based off of my own life experiences and information that I personally acquired through time. All right, let me get that out. Let me get that out there first. So listen, man. A family, right? A family is a unit. A family is one. No one person comes above or before their family unit. Everybody has a play. Everybody has a part to play. The father, the mother, and the children. The children play a lesser degree because they are children, but they still play a part in the family unit. The man is the head, he's the king. His role is to protect and to provide for his family, to defend his family, to put their needs before his needs. The mother's responsibility is to be a nurturer. She's to be a supporter of the husband. She's to be the caretaker of the home. See what I'm saying? The needs of the family come before her needs. If she's out there working, she still fulfills that role in the home. And the man being the king or whatever, because she's out there assisting him or whatever, he will assist her in the duties of the home to a certain extent or whatever. Because it's a unit. Everybody works together as a collective to take care of the family. Everybody plays a part. Be it, the children, and some of the children may be with another man, because you have a lot of that now, or if all the children belong to the man who's in that family unit. It's still the same process. It does not change. The problem is that you are not fulfilling your responsibilities within that family unit, either as a man or as a woman. Children are blameless because they're children. It starts at the top with the man and the woman. So if it's a failed marriage or failed family unit, the only person you can blame is you and you. The husband and the wife, the boyfriend and the girlfriend. It's your fault. Okay? That's number one. Because it can work if you make it work. It will only work if both parties want it to work. If both parties are equally invested into it working. That's the only way they will work. Regardless of what the family dynamics are and what's going on around them. If you want it to work, it can work. But you have to be equal participants. It's not that hard. It's not that difficult. Now practicing it every day is a whole nother question, right? Because you're gonna have challenges. But as long as you can get up every day and go to sleep every night and say, "Hey, baby, hey, honey, I'm equally invested. I'm equally invested." It will work. Okay. So move beyond that point, right? Because I'm trying to keep my videos to a certain extent. Number two, right, is listen. All of us are not going to be, part of that top tier, because this is a capitalistic society. And that goes for any society as in that matter. You're only gonna have a small percentage at the top. Wealth is not gonna be distributed to everyone. It does not work like that. Okay? So if you're trying to get to the top, shoot forward. Shoot past the moon and shoot for the stars, absolutely. But just know that we all are not gonna be up there at that top tier, if that is our desire. So whatever tier that you make it to, my point is to try to provide you information so that you can be comfortable in whatever tier that you are settled in or that you hit your peak at. Because we all have a peak. There's such thing as that everything is limitless for us, because life doesn't work like that. It's not enough resources being distributed to the extent where everybody can have everything that they want. So all this stuff about I'm gonna be a high value man based off of this new age concept. I'm a high value woman. I'm a woman looking for a high value man. They're in short supply if it's all based around a narrative of income. It's going to be very small amount of people that's going to be in that tier, or who is going to get to that tier. And the system is this world is just designed like that. Be it capitalism or whatever kind of society that you want to focus on. And I'm just trying to teach you the ways to be comfortable with wherever you're at, wherever you're trying to get to, or wherever you land at and you are at. I'm trying to teach you the ways to, hey, be successful, be comfortable, be it you working class, middle class, or whatever. Because you can be comfortable and happy and satisfied with where you're at. We only got this much time in this life, from time to be born to time to be passed on. You know, I'm not gonna fill my time with trying to chase somebody else's desires or what they're trying to create for me to make myself happy. I want to find what happiness is for myself, even if I don't fit into your little box. So let's get to some points. All right, family, coming to y'all with the second part of this video, right? And this is the overview. Okay, so 3 areas that will get you into that top tier, right, of being a high income earner, right, is one, having a specialized knowledge. Having specialized knowledge means that you have a knowledge of something that most people don't have knowledge of. It is like having a expertise in supply chain logistics, meaning that you are over like regions and divisions for a company and organization, and you govern whole parts of America regarding your transportation of merchandise and products and things of that nature. Having an in-depth understanding, and I'm not talking about just like the little people that you see here on YouTube and stuff like that, but having an in-depth understanding of stocks and derivatives and margin trading and things of that nature. Those things will get you into that top tier. You know, having a high skill set will get you into that top tier, right? Like a surgeon, you know, and not just, I'm not talking about like the family doctor or the emergency room doctor. I'm talking about like being like a neurosurgeon or a heart surgeon or a brain surgeon, something with a person with a very high skill set, you know, that stands at the top amongst their peers in like the medical field. You know, being a lawyer, and I'm just not talking about like a family lawyer or your local lawyer. I'm talking about like a lawyer who does international business contracts, who does business acquisitions, the buying and selling of companies. That can lead you to having millions of dollars in that kind of field, because you stand at the top tier amongst the people in your tier who are pretty much high income earner. You stand at the height of that, right? Also, right, having a mastery of a common knowledge that quite a few people have, but you have that mastery, that knowledge, and you're able to finesse that into something that is beneficial and pays you very well, such as having knowledge of construction, having knowledge of being a truck driver, right? You take that knowledge of being in construction and you form your own construction team. Or you take that knowledge of being a truck driver, you start buying trucks and putting drivers in them. And then you start as either a owner of a construction company or a truck driver company, and then you start to do bids for contracts with different companies or with the government. That will put you into that stratosphere of being a high income earner. Just as some quick examples, right? Now, the part 2 of that is, right, to be among that top tier is based off of 2 things, you know, which is really one, your networking ability, the connections that you have, the business working relationships that you have with other people, and they fall into either being social networks or they fall into being fraternal networks, right? So you can become a member of the JCs, you become a member of the Chamber of Commerce, right? Fraternal orders, you know, Masons, the Elks, the Eastern Stars, you know, the Greeks, you know, be it, you know, the sororities or the fraternal part of the Greeks. And I'm not telling you or advising you to join these organizations. I'm just telling you where the power rests at. I'm just telling you where the people who make decisions are at, right? You know, and either becoming a part of it will help in making you successful, but you do have to bring some talent and skill to it, or having knowledge of it having knowledge of that in and of itself will help you in that endeavor. Because you don't have to belong to any of these things to become wealthy or to even network and do business with them. Because the main process, the main purpose is making money for them as well as for yourself, right? And so then you have the top tier, right, where the money and power is concentrated at, you know, and they have organizations set up for their children as well. So you have like the Bolay, the Odd Fellows, the Lynx, the Golden Girls, and you have like the Jack and Jillers for the children, the Daughters of Job. These are organizations where they set up where their children intermarry one another and keep this power within the side of this vacuum that you guys are not privy to. I'm telling you what I've experienced. I'm telling you what some of the things that I've been invited to join in my lifetime, and I just chose not to. I'm telling you what I've read about. And this book here is I'm sharing with you guys, man. Get a copy of this book, buy it, get it from the library, download it in PDF form. It's called Our Kind of People Inside America's Black Upper Class. And it's about this guy named Lawrence Otis Grant. He goes in depth, and he's also a part of this power structure of elite black people here in America. So get a copy of this book. I'm just sharing this with you guys, man, because I'm trying to give you the inner workings of how our system and structure is designed, and how you can use this to your benefit to get to whatever level that you're able to get with your abilities and talent, right? And a main example of that, right? Let's see here. Let's see. Right here, right? Let's see. This man right here, right? One of my most favorite reads, right? Reginald Lewis, Why Should White Guys Have All the Fun? He is the first African American billionaire to own a billion-dollar company here in America. And this book catalogs his life. He started out, kind of, as an average individual. He went to college. Matter of fact, he went to Virginia State University. He ended up getting into a special program which allowed him to go to Harvard University. He graduated out of Harvard Law School. He was a part of the Harvard Business Club. He went on into what I was speaking about earlier, business or company acquisitions. So he was buying and selling companies for other businesses. And then he went on to buy his own company with his skill set and knowledge that he had. He bought, I think it was 2 radio stations, and then he bought a fabric company or something like that. And then he was able to flip that fabric company and radio station, make them profitable, and then sell them for $75 million, which landed him in the Hamptons, in a nice home. Then he had the knack to go out and buy Patrice Foods, which made him a billionaire, which made him go and buy a house or a mansion in Connecticut. And that was when he was at the height of, his journey in life. Get this book. It is a great read. I couldn't put this book down. So I'm not just up here just talking what I feel and what I think. I'm speaking about what I've experienced, who I've been around, and also, the knowledge that I acquired through reading. Reading is very fundamental and is needed. So, moving on to the next subject. All right. Now, I just wanted to share this with y'all right quick, right? You see that there are 614 billionaires in the United States, and only 7 of them are black. What's the percentage of that? All right, family, and to wrap this up here, we have the African American income, the black median household income, which is the average between the highest income for black people and the lowest income for black people, which is $41,361. Which, if you have a 2-party household where the man and woman is making about $11 and some change an hour, it can equal up to that amount of year. All right, and let's see here. Going to the second chart here, we have here the African American earnings from 1967 to 2016, and you'll see that those making $200,000 and over, pretty much from 67 to 1980, was pretty much non-existent, right? So here we are at the last index for 2016. And we'll start from the bottom. And as you see here, that 15K and under is the poverty level, which 21% of African Americans are in that level. Then you have 15,000 to 35,000, 25%, and then 35,000 to 100K. And I would tell you that from this level here, the working and middle class, entry level to knocking at the door of middle class begins at about $60,000 entry level. And then you have here 200K and over, you have 12%. And then you have here wealthy upper class, which means $1 million more money makers. You see that is 2.7%. So the population or populace of America is about 30-something million black people, right? So what that means is that you have about 600,000 people out of 30 million people making over $1 million. And out of that 30 million people, you have about 3 million people making $200,000 or more. And that may seem like a lot of people to you, but look at it like this. If you was on the game, you want to be a millionaire, right? And they tell you that they had 3 million slots for people to become millionaires, and that you were competing against 30 million people. That's not a lot of slots. So moving from one class to another class is doable, but it's not as easy as people on YouTube want to design it to be. And they're not really explaining the process of doing it. And what I was speaking about earlier, as far as the networking portion of it, is a big part of this 200K to the $1 million plus club. You know, because once you get to that level, whatever, you'll start to interact with them, and if they like you, they'll actually try to bring you into their organizations and their social clubs and things of that nature. But you can live a very comfortable life as well in the top tier of this 40%. You know, we get to making $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a year, $90,000 a year. Be it as an individual or even as a couple, you'll start seeing a difference in how your quality of life is, especially depending on what part of the country that you're in. You know, as far as, you know, your housing, the cars that you drive, vacations, you know, setting up investments for your children, having more control over what you do versus what you don't do, especially if you save and invest your money correctly. So, man, I just wanted to bring this to you guys. Make sure that you like this video. Make sure that you share this content. Make sure that you get my book, Wealth Creation, Creation of Wealth. Make sure that you give a brother a donation or something towards my upcoming content. PayPal button's in the top link. And like I said, hey, if you can go out here and give the scammers and charlatans, you know what I'm saying, you know, hundreds of dollars, whatever, you can definitely share something with a brother that's trying to bring you some real solid, concrete information, who has nothing but earnestness in his heart to see you develop and be the person, have the financial freedom that you want. All right, peace.